Episode 4 of Agatha All Along is a pivotal chapter that not only escalates the emotional stakes, but also deepens the central mystery of the series. What stands out most is how the episode masterfully balances character development, plot progression, and the building tension between Agatha and Vidal. This balance allows the audience to engage with the witch's journey on both an emotional and intellectual level, while new layers of intrigue and betrayal are subtly woven into the narrative.
Agatha? That boy isn't yours.
Agatha Harkness and Vidal's relationship has been fraught with tension since the beginning of the series, but Episode 4 takes this tension to new heights. Rio's arrival as the Green Witch, after Sharon's death, sets the tone for what will be a battle of wills between two powerful witches. Agatha's initial irritation with Rio's presence speaks volumes, suggesting that their past is riddled with betrayal, mistrust, and unresolved conflict. But it's Rio's casual suggestion to Agatha that they should betray the rest of the coven that really reveals the power dynamics at play. This moment, overheard by the other witches, is a deliberate move by Rio to test Agatha's loyalty and destabilize the coven. At the same time, Rio's knowledge of Teen's true identity and her assertion that "that boy isn't yours" is a major turning point. Up until now, the theory that Teen might be Nicholas Scratch, Agatha's son, has driven much of the emotional undercurrent of Agatha's character. Agatha's protectiveness over Teen, her deep concern when he is wounded, and her reluctance to answer his question about what happened to her son all suggest that she sees him as the son she lost. Rio's comment shatters this illusion, or at least casts serious doubt on it, forcing both Agatha and the audience to reevaluate who Teen really is. Yet, Rio's motivations remain murky. Is she telling the truth, or is she lying to manipulate Agatha, to weaken her emotionally and turn the coven against her? Given their history, it's entirely possible that Rio's words are meant to undermine Agatha's authority, planting the seeds of doubt not only in Agatha's mind but also in the audience's. This dynamic, truth versus deception, loyalty versus betrayal, will likely drive the tension between Agatha and Rio in future episodes.
Agatha. What really happened to your son?
One of the most compelling aspects of Episode 4 is how it adds new layers to the mystery of Teen's identity. The sigil preventing the witches from learning his true name has been a key plot device, and the parallels between Teen and both Nicholas Scratch and Billy Kaplan continue to fuel fan theories. Teen's vulnerability, combined with his raw magical potential, aligns him with both characters in intriguing ways. If Teen is Nicholas Scratch, then Agatha's protectiveness over him makes perfect sense. Her reluctance to talk about her son's fate, coupled with the trauma of trading him for the Darkhold, paints a picture of a mother grappling with immense guilt. But Rio's claim that Teen isn't Nicholas complicates this theory. If Teen isn't Nicholas, why is Agatha so emotionally attached to him? Is it simply a projection of her unresolved grief, or is there more to their connection than we've been led to believe? On the other hand, the theory that Teen might be Billy Kaplan, Wanda Maximoff's son, is also compelling. Billy's character from the comics shares many traits with Teen, including his sexuality, his magical abilities, and his traumatic past. Teen's comment about something terrible happening to him at 13, which ties back to the timeline from WandaVision, strengthens the argument that he might be connected to Wanda in some way.
So, you're a Green Witch?
Less a Green Witch, more the Green Witch.
Another significant development in this episode is the growing suspicion that Vidal might be the MCU's version of Lady Death. Rio's cryptic behavior, her casual comments about life and death, and her apparent knowledge of Teen's identity all hint at something more than just a rival witch. When Agatha pleads with Rio not to take Teen, it's a chilling moment that suggests Rio has power over death itself, aligning her with Lady Death's comic book counterpart. If Rio is indeed Lady Death, this changes the stakes of the series entirely. It positions Rio not just as a personal antagonist for Agatha, but as a cosmic force with control over life and death. Her presence on the Witch's Road would then make perfect sense, as the road itself is a place where witches confront their deepest fears and desires, and where death and rebirth are constant themes. Furthermore, if Rio is Lady Death, her interest in Agatha could be tied to Agatha's own past dealings with death, whether it's the loss of her son, the death of Wanda Maximoff, or even Agatha's own survival of the Salem witch trials. Rio's suggestion that Agatha should betray the coven may be more than just a test of loyalty. It could be an invitation for Agatha to embrace the darker aspects of her own magic, to align herself with death in a more permanent way.
Don't drink anything, don't eat anything, don't touch anything.
Feels like there's a story there.
While much of the episode focuses on the larger mysteries of Teen's identity and Rio's true nature, the personal story of Alice Wu-Gulliver adds an emotional depth to the episode. The 1970s aesthetic of the house they encounter, tied to Alice's mother, Lorna Wu, is more than just a clever visual choice. It represents the generational trauma that Alice has carried with her, a trauma that is finally confronted in this episode. The recording studio, the backwards record, and the curse that haunts Alice's family all serve as metaphors for the unresolved grief and guilt that Alice has inherited. By singing her mother's version of the ballad and using it as a protection spell, Alice is able to not only defeat the demon but also begin to heal from the curse that has haunted her family for generations. This moment of catharsis is important, not just for Alice but for the entire coven, as it strengthens the bonds between the witches and shows that they are capable of overcoming even the darkest magic when they work together.
Part of me hoped that the road wasn't real, so I could stay angry. Because
now you know. It was all for you.
Despite the growing mistrust between Agatha and Rio, the rest of the coven, Lilia, Jennifer, and Alice, are beginning to form a stronger bond. The shared trauma of their journey along the Witch's Road, combined with the death of Sharon and the defeat of the demon in this episode, brings them closer together. Their camaraderie is a necessary counterbalance to the tension between Agatha and Rio, and it suggests that the coven will need to rely on each other more as the trials become more dangerous. However, the seeds of betrayal have already been planted. Rio's suggestion that Agatha betray the others, overheard by the entire coven, is a clear indication that trust within the group is fragile. As they continue on the Witch's Road, the coven will be tested not just by the external trials they face, but by the internal conflicts and betrayals that are brewing beneath the surface. Episode 4 of Agatha All Along delivers on both character development and mystery, peeling back the layers of the witches' past while raising new questions about their futures. The revelation about Teen's identity, Rio's potential as Lady Death, and the emotional catharsis of Alice breaking her family's curse all combine to create a rich, multifaceted episode that deepens the overarching narrative. As the coven continues their journey on the Witch's Road, the stakes are higher than ever, and the bonds between them will be tested in ways that will shape the rest of the series. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.